Just down the road from Paull Home Tower is the Church of St Andrew in Paull. It's an ancient parish church built soon after 1355 and overlooks the Humber estuary. The Riverside Pop-In Cafe is open within the church March to October the 2nd, till October, 2 to 4, where refreshments will be available. I went in today and believe me, it is well worth a visit.
The only one thing he said was when the rise, it would show when it was coming from Hampton and King and then you think that would be yes.
Sometimes it's just...
Yeah, it's been very nice. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Paula Coomber, Seaside Radio at St Andrew's Church in Paull, and I'm with David Alexander Smith, and you wrote Paull, an Illustrated History.
Yes, that's correct.
Why did you write this book?
Well, as a child, I grew up in Marfleet, and on Sundays and school holidays, myself and my friends used to cycle up to Paull. We used to play around Fort Paull and also go along the foreshore here. And we found it a great place to play. And then when I became older, grew up, I started to take more of an interest in the history of the area and started to research it.
Right, is that just Paull or is it the whole of the Holderness area?
It's mainly just Paull, although I am a local historian, so I've got an interest in the whole area. But I focused in on Paull particularly because a lot of the other areas of Holderness have already been covered, such as Withensea and Thorngambold and so on, have already got books about them.
Of course. And you've got a little gem here, Paull Home Tower, that I went and saw this morning. How did you find out everything about this?
Well, there are various ways of doing that. One is archive items in the Treasure House in Beverley, also the Hull History Centre. There are newspaper accounts, and it's also talking to people in the village who can provide you with information as well. And of course, the current owner of the tower has some information about it as well. But such things as ownership records do survive, and various accounts in newspapers, and indeed books that have been written in previous centuries.
So the research is quite extensive, really.
It is extensive research, and in fact doesn't just include the local area. There is information in the National Archives in London as well that I had to track down.
Right.
And in total, the book has taken me about 10 years to research.
Really?
Yes.
So from beginning to end, it was 10 years to get it printed?
Yeah.
I was particularly interested to hear that part of the family were down in Guildford in Surrey, because that's where I come from. And I'm thinking, how on earth? Did they ever come here, do you know?
Yes, they will have visited the area, and in fact it is said that one member of the family, Brian Home, refurbished Paull Home Tower in 1871 as for use as a gazebo. So it is likely that they came to the area. They would have kept an eye on their lands here, because they had land that was rented out to tenant farmers as well as the properties themselves as well.
Yeah. And are you going to do any more work like this?
Yes, possibly, but it's going to be on Hull is my next planned publication.
Right.
And that is going to be a picture book, but it's old pictures from the 19th and early 20th century of slum clearance properties.
And are you anticipating that takes you another 10 years?
No. No.
It's going to be slightly easier, this one, isn't it?
The research on that isn't as extensive, and I've already done a lot of the work already on that book.
Right.
So there's not much more to do.
Yeah. Is this sort of your day job, writing?
It isn't. I wish it was, but unfortunately there's not enough money in it to be a full-time job. I was actually the local studies librarian for Hull City Council until earlier this year when I was made redundant.
So you were in a place where you could do plenty of research.
That's right. But I'm also a public speaker and a part-time adult education tutor in local history as well.
So really, the whole of your background is geared towards doing this sort of thing?
Yes,
then?
it's geared towards local history, yes.
And this came out very recently, did it?
It came out in May of 2011 this year, yes.
Right.
So it's still new.
Anybody wants to get hold of a copy?
It is available in Brown's Bookshop in Hull, W.H. Smith's in Hull, the Heddon Museum. It's available in St Andrew's Church, Paull, and the Royal Oak Public House in Paull.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.